What is up, guys? My name's David Lee, and you're watching Asian with Cards, and we got a very special deck over here. Derek, what's your name on Discord?
On Discord, I'm Frog Slicer, the famous supervillain of Edison Format.
Supervillain? I don't know about that. I'd say Ingle is the other supervillain for frogs, because I mean, yeah. Anyway, so we're playing in a what was that? Statue, Dark Magician statue prize.
We're right before Nats tomorrow.
Yep.
Big Edison event, first Konami supported event. So everyone happens to be in town. So we just came here to play. It was pretty cool. Yeah.
And we're playing this 60-man tournament, trying to get that. And you're playing a very different deck from everyone that's not even meta.
Yeah.
But everyone knows about it, but no one really tries to anticipate for it, right? So what is the deck called?
I'm playing Chainburn.
Chainburn.
Traditional Chainburn.
Right. And how are you facing against everyone else right now?
I am X-1. I've only lost to Cam today.
Cam?
So we'll see what
the
happens.
other frog player?
We're in the middle of top 8 right now.
Right. Let's get through this quickly before the next round starts, right?
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
All right, so, well, I guess first things first. I just copied all the ratios for all the good Chainburn decks in the history of all time. They have like a certain ratio of stall, draw, and burn. So I just took the best cards in Edison and tried to match that.
And it's doing really well. Like your win-loss ratio is like overall like pretty decent.
Yeah.
Like when playing this
deck.
stuff.
I have plenty too today.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. Let's start it.
So part of what we do with Valley is you're basically replicating Card E in later versions of the game.
Yep.
So the only thing you really want to use them for is to draw 2.
Yep.
Okay. So to convert off of them, you have Triple Fader, which you as a stall. So this works as like making this a Card E. And then we do a really silly thing, just for confit.
People forget about this card.
Yeah, it's weird. It's actually pretty good in here because it has its effect says if he survives to the end of your opponent's turn, you bounce him and your opponent's monster.
Yep.
So if they happen to have a main deck, something or other that hates you, if you're able to protect him with a threatening roar or something,
definitely a meme deck.
You can get rid of it. Or at worst, you're just slamming it down with Cyber Valley. So these are just fodder for Cyber Valley.
Yep.
And to have allure targets. And then we only run 2 other monsters. I don't like running all the combat stall monsters like Marshmallow and stuff because you can't rely on anything. Everything gets destroyed.
Yeah.
So
that's,
we have Sangan.
That's a good way of putting Edison in a nutshell.
Basically. So we have Sangan to search for either piece, whichever one you're missing, and Morphing Jar because it's just such a blowout.
Yeah.
If you can resolve, and I resolved a lot of Morphing Jars today. That's probably why I was doing well today.
Sometimes people like Morphing Jar and they get to draw more, right?
Yeah. Not against me.
And spells.
So we play 4 spells. Allure, the bare minimum support it. This is just kind of the best draw support we can afford to run. Scapegoat. It is also convertible with Cyber Valley, and it's just good stall. Sometimes it's kind of a liability. There's a lot of piercing in Edison, and then double Chain Strike because it's the best burn card other than just desserts.
And what was Chain Strike do again?
Chain Strike says, depending on how high it is on the chain, it does 400 damage times that. So you have to be pretty meticulous about.
And that's why you don't run 3, right?
Well, no, it's at 2.
It's at 2?
Okay. It's limited to 2.
Yeah. Well, look at me, like meta Edison player, not really realizing that is actually like limited. All right.
So my least favorite cards in the deck, but also the ones that actually make you win, is Magic Cylinder, Dimensional. These are the only non-chainable cards. I can chain to them, so if my opponent triggers them, then I get the chain link, so it's good. But yeah, so it's just combat reflection. So if I'm trying to get at least 1,600 damage from each burn card. So as long as you
which is destructive enough.
Yeah, as long as it does enough, it's fine. Sometimes it's like 3K if you're lucky.
Right.
So we do the ratios of 2 and 2 for threatening and Wabico because you want to have different names for Chain Strike and for Accumulated Fortune, which we'll get to.
Geometry.
Geometry is limited to 1 in Edison. It's like one of the only times in all of Yu-Gi-Oh's history it's limited to 1. It's actually pretty annoying.
What does that do?
So this puts 3 tokens on my opponent's side of the field.
Oh,
it makes
deck lockout. Got it. I mean,
right. Well, it makes
not deck lockout, but anyways,
board lockdown.
Board lockdown.
And you can slow down the damage you take with it. So I count this as a pseudo stall.
Yeah.
Because you're not gonna get OTK the turn you can resolve that unless they have a synchro, a tuner.
Good idea.
But yeah, so the whole point is this pairs up with these. You get 1,500 added damage to just desserts, and you get 600 added damage to Secret Barrel.
And that's just for each monster when it says just desserts?
Yeah, just desserts is 500 damage for each monster they control.
Yeah,
so up to 25. So easily over that 1,600 number.
Yeah, that's pretty massive.
Same with Secret Barrel. This is usually 2K. This is for every card they control.
No wonder you kept counting my hand.
Yeah, and I'm cool being open with it because, I mean, you assume I have it anyway.
Yeah.
Ceasefire was really great today. It's been consistently great. You can negate Raikou with it, but it's the same thing as Just Desserts, but it's only effect monsters, so it doesn't hit Neos Alias, which was pretty annoying today. And it negates monsters' effects. So if you know they have a Raikou, you can protect yourself from the mill, which also came up today.
Right.
So we run 2 and 2. This is the ratio stuff I was talking about. You could do 3 and 3. I like 2 and 2 because these are the slow cards you're trying to avoid. Tempo matters. Triple Reckless, because it's really, really good, and Triple Accumulated Fortune.
And what does Accumulated Fortune do?
So it's the same thing as Chain Strike. It needs to have, it needs to be high on the chain. This one's specifically Chain Link 4.
Trap Pot Agreed, got it.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just more cycling through your deck.
Yeah, and you tend to chain quite a bit in this deck.
Yeah, and a lot of the deck is the sideboard, which we don't really have to get into because I'm still in tournament. But there's a whole strategy you have to have for the stuff you're expecting to see.
What do you try and side in typically?
So something that everyone's seen so far that I don't mind telling is Triple Sorogo, because you expect to see...
Because Black Wings.
Yeah, you should. There's like 3 different
big
variants
damage,
of Black Wings.
big damage.
It's like a third of the meta. So you just slam a Sirocco, and against you just now, it forced you to play double Kalut.
Yeah.
If you didn't have double Kalut, then I just would have done free damage.
Yeah.
So.
But it was like I don't want that gone.
Yeah, exactly.
So what's your counters for like Royal Decree or Trapstone?
So Trapstone kind of gets me. I haven't figured that one yet, but people don't really play it that much. So
right.
If you're expecting Trapstone, you might not want to play Chainburn. Luckily, Glad's are really weak right now, and they're one of the few decks that play it. Yeah, Royal Decree. I run Omni removal, so I side in Caius's. So if I'm afraid they're on Jinzo or Magical Android or anything, you just bring in the Caius's. Brain Caius is like regularly 3,400 damage. So.
Yeah, easy.
Yeah.
So is there anything you want to say about your deck that you haven't?
So this is the same list I brought to the 1K tournament on EdisonFormat.com like a year and a half. It hasn't changed one bit. The side changes based on the meta, and you have to study what everyone's actually doing before you choose to play it.
Right.
But this is the list. I really stand by this. And you can play mind games too. Like one of the things with Magic Cylinder, as much as I don't like it, if your opponent sees a bunch of them, you can side them out, and they'll play around it. If they don't see them at all, you just keep them in, or you do 2 and 2, something like that. There's cool stuff you can do. So you just kind of feel it out and get a feel for the opponent.
Right.
Yeah.
Anyone you need to thank?
I want to thank my team, Crow's Nest.
Crow's Nest?
Yeah, for hosting all the deck dev tournaments. They're baller.
Yeah, no, they're good people.
And especially check out my YouTube channel. I'm Frog Slicer. I usually just talk about one deck, but I have some burn stuff on there too.
Yeah. No, the player that was actually trying to teach people how to play Edison Format, I forget who they are.
Are you talking about Snack?
Is it a female?
Yeah.
So she is actually like
that really popular video.
Yeah,
on
that video channel. Talking about like the whole breakdown of like how to play. Like she's been very
amazing.
helpful.
Yeah, she's our captain. I'm really proud
amazing.
Of yeah.
That's
I'm happy
it.
to top 8 today. Yeah.
That's it, and nothing else from you about it?
No.
Awesome. Well, shout out to Crow's Nest and Frog Slicer, and thank you very much. See you guys soon.